All right, we're live. Hey, everybody. David Young here, founder of Drone Launch Academy. I have Dusty, our community manager for Drone Launch Connect. We are going to give it just a bit since we're switching over here to YouTube Live from Webinar Jam. So, people are going to have to switch over to YouTube. So we're going to give them a second to do that because we realized Webinar Jam is only allows for 2 people to be on, and it doesn't let you have more than 2 guests hosting, which we didn't realize until right as we were about to do this. So if you are just joining the stream, thank you for coming over here from Webinar Jam. We're going to have to keep sending people this way. But if you are here, what's going to happen today is, number one, we're going to have 3 guests come on. I see more and more people, so I feel like I'm going to have to say this multiple times. But we're going to have 3 guests from the Drone Launch Connect community come on. They're drone pilots. Some of them have had, or I'm sure many of them have had or do have careers still. I know Kevin works full time. I think Joel, are you the one who are recently retired or about to retire from law enforcement? I think I can see you. I can see him, but you guys can't see him. Secret here. And then Garey, I know you. Is this your full-time gig, Garey? Maybe give me a thumbs up. Yeah. All right. Cool. So a lot of different perspectives that we're going to get. So we're going to go through those 3 folks, give them about 10 minutes each just to share their journey, where they are, hopefully share some tips and some things that can be helpful for the rest of you guys here. And then I've got a special announcement at the end. Well, we are going to do a thing where we're opening up the community, doing kind of a special 2-month deal for people. We have a different announcement that I'm even more excited about than that. And then I believe we have a drone giveaway. We're going to give away a DJI Mini 3 Pro. Those are worth, like, I don't know, give or take $750. So yeah, so that's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. Dusty, why don't you talk a little bit? Just tell everybody who you are, give people a little bit about your background, and essentially buy another like 90 seconds to 120 seconds for more people to come over from.
Sure, no, I can try to do that. So I am Dusty Jolly. I am the community manager at Drone Launch Connect. And so that also, I'm the only remote employee for Drone Launch Academy. So I'm based out of Central Arkansas. And, I have had a chance to go to Lakeland to go meet the people there. And it's awesome to be a part of this company and to be here as the community manager for the community that we've got going on. So, real quick, I can tell you, like, when we first kind of launched this community, I know that David, I think the idea for this came from when he was doing some of the Part 107 courses and some of the other courses that Drone Launch Academy sells, always looking to get some feedback back and what was working, what wasn't working. I think what he saw was there was always some good feedback as far as the cohort groups, that is people that are going through taking, being able to talk to people that are taking the same course or going through the same program that at the same time. And so I think that's kind of the idea of where Drone Launch Connect came from. And so it is kind of separate from Drone Launch Academy. You don't have to necessarily go through a Drone Launch Academy course to get involved in the community. This is something that is really, designed for just your people that have passed Part 107, want to go out and figure out that they can make some money doing this. And, the cool thing is we've got a lot of people that are trying to make this more than just a side hustle. And I think you're going to get to hear from some of those people tonight. So, I've been very fortunate and blessed to be the community manager for this. It's really awesome to get to connect to other people on a very personal level. And you'll get to do that within the community, some of the live events and some of the communication that we have going on. But I think right. I can keep on going if we need to.
No, I think that's good. All right. So hopefully everybody's here. We're 5 minutes. I'm sure people will join as we go here and there, but I tried to put a big sign in Webinar Jam. If you're here from the other link that got blasted out, is because when we went to test, like when we went to go get on here, we went to add everyone, and it would only let us put 2 people in, and we're going to have more than 2 people on the call today. So last minute change over here to YouTube Live / StreamYard. We can have 10 people on here. So sorry about the inconvenience, but hopefully everyone's on here. But the good news is, the thing I like about YouTube Live is that this will stay on YouTube. And so if someone wants to come back and watch it later and hear Joel's story, Gary's story, Kevin's story, they can do that and it'll be searchable. So that is a nice side benefit. All right, I'm in Houston. I saw a couple people say they're in Texas here, and I'm here for the Energy, Drones, and Robotics Summit. So learning a lot about how drones are used in the energy, so power lines, even oil and gas inspections. People are throwing out a lot of terminology that I don't know. So I'm learning a lot. So I've got some new ideas for workshops that we'll talk about later. But why don't we go ahead and dive into our first guest that we're going to have on. I'm going to be quiet. I'll actually remove my face from the screen. There's no use leaving me up here for you guys to stare at my ugly mug while other people are talking. So Dusty, who do you want to have on first? We have Gary or Joel come on first. I think Kevin's joining us later.
Yeah, Kevin. I know Kevin's actually working in Los Angeles on a job today, so he's going to be joining us in just a little bit. Honestly, let's start off with Joel, if you don't mind. I think Joel's got a.
Dang, Gary. Sorry about that, man. You hear how he's picking favorites over there? All right, I'm gonna bring Joel on, and I'm gonna put myself down.
All right, welcome.
Joel, how are you, man?
I'm doing awesome, Dusty. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. So first off, just to kind of introduce you, when we first initially launched this thing last year, I think it was last August, Joel has been a founding member, and I've gotten to know Joel very well just over the course of this past year, and he's been one of these guys that's been very plugged in and engaged in the community, and I think he kind of fits the mold for a lot of people that are going to be interested in this community. So, Joel, if you don't mind, just give a little bit of background about yourself, kind of maybe what first, how you got tied in with Drone Launch Academy, but also how did you come about the Drone Launch Connect, and, how has that kind of affected you from there? If you don't mind, just kind of give a little bit of background on, you got a good story to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, drones kind of, I don't know, fell into me a weird way, I guess. One day, one night, my partner and I were working part-time together, and we were talking about life after law enforcement, and he's like, my buddy says drones can make some money. I'm like, well, that sounds cool, but what can they do? And then we started looking at it. I'm like, let's look at it a little bit more. And I was like, wow, there is a lot of opportunity with drones. Then a couple weeks later, maybe a month later, somebody brought a drone into work. We're flying around the office. I'm like, this is cool. Next thing you know, I'm buying a drone. Then I was like, all right, now what I need to do is I need to figure out how to really make money with it. Well, that brought me into, I need a Part 107. So I started trying to take the test on my own and study in, and there's just so much out there on YouTube, and it just leaves you scatter-minded and all over the place. So I started looking for more. I found Drone Launch Academy, took their Drone Launch Academy initial test to get my 107, passed my 107 on first try. And then I was like, all right, now I need to focus more to make money and learn how to make money. So I ended up taking the Drone to 1K course, followed that process all the way through, learned how to create my website, create my LLC, create my business account. And with that being said, they hooked us up with a lot of different opportunities. Started flying roof inspections or inspections for different companies, for insurance companies, underwriting and damage, and then real estate jumped in there. And then really the biggest thing for me was doing these farm jobs, which they found me through my website, which I would have never done, would have never even thought I would have came up with. And they offered me like a 1-month contract. I flew for them for the month. It was awesome. It was a great learning opportunity, flying maps, flying drones that mapped the farms, and it was just cool. But through that whole time, anytime I couldn't figure something out, I'd pick up the phone. I'd call Dusty. I'd call Gary. I'd call Jeff. I'd call Kevin. Hey, how do I do this? What do I do here? How do I do this? The community is awesome. It's a safe place to ask a question and not feel just dumb Nobody puts you down. Everybody's there to build you up. And we all kind of bounce ideas off each other on how to make more money and how to make more money with drones. So for me, I've been in law enforcement for 25 years and ready to retire and want to make the next step with drones. So it's just it's a passion now. I can't, you get one, you get two, and then you just got to keep going. So you got to keep making steps.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. And I remember when you first joined, it was one of those, you had told me that. So when is your official retirement date?
January 1 is my goal. That's my, but got to have everything completely set up so I can walk out smoothly. But that is my goal, January 1. And I keep pushing towards that every day. So I tell everybody it's January 1 and then it's on me. So if I don't do anything, then it's not January 1, right? So every day I've got to do something to make it January 1 a reality for me.
Right. No, and I remember you coming on and talking about this retirement date, and one of the things that you did is set a goal, and you made it very public to everybody in the community. And that's where I feel like the community kicks in too. Is we've got a text message thread going on with some of the other guys in the community, and you really get plugged in with some of these guys, and they almost work as almost like an accountability partner. It's where you tell people you've got something going on, you've got a potential job, you've got somebody interested. We're going to ask questions. We're going to follow up. We're going to hold you to make sure that you followed through with that thing. And so I think that's one of the coolest parts about this community. But, so when you first were getting going, though, I know that you had posted that you've got this new contract, the first contract with this job doing the mapping stuff, all due because they found you because of your website, which is awesome. But I know that you were out at that point buying batteries, trying to figure out, buying whatever you could to make this job happen. And man, it was just really cool to kind of see you get to that point and see you from the beginning of when you first joined the community and we all started together. And now here we are. And, you've kind of got your ducks in a row and it looks like you're going to meet that goal at some point in time here pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. But the coolest thing, I mean, I called you, I'm like, hey, I'm bouncing drones off you. They're telling me I need to get this drone. You're like, hey, I'll send you a drone if you need it. So, and it's just another way, reaching out. The community's there for you.
Yep.
I know somebody else crash landed a drone into the water and someone's like, hey, if you need to borrow it, I got you. So it's a great place. I mean, and then we had, I think we got the email thread with this scam going around of trying to fly. And you know what? We could send that out to our community, and now everybody knows that if they see this, it's a scam. It's just another resource. We've been really good. I think the community is just a great place to advertise and get that feedback with each other. Like, hey, how do you do this? What do you do here? It's been an invaluable tool for me being able to reach out. Dusty, I've called you several times. I'm like, what do I do here? What do I do here? They wanted me to get a Maverick 2 Pro, and I'm like, well, I want to get an Air 2S. I already have an Air. I want to use the same batteries, and it's just a great place to be able to really bounce the real what's going on in the drone world today and get that real feedback. For me, I don't feel like there's a lot of people locally that are doing it, and if they are, everybody's keeping to themselves. But I've got this community to go to and reach out anytime I want, so it's totally helpful for me.
No. Like I think a lot of times when we're on passing the Part 107, anytime we get into business, it's not like we have a bunch of people that we go to work with at this point. We're doing all this stuff either as on the side or by ourselves when it comes down to it. And I'm always having to offer free drinks or something just to get a visual observer when I need one. So I think I think all of us are kind of members of the Facebook groups and everything else, and we see the posts that's going on, and there's always the negativity that comes along with that. But I think being able to kind of take those conversations outside of just the comment section and get in here and let's talk about it. Let's have these face-to-face conversations. Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about it. That's really what's kind of made the difference for me. And I think really helped out a lot of other people.
Hey, Joel, I'm curious. I want to ask a question. I'm liking these questions. I'm thinking of something. I'm like, oh, I need to ask Joel. When you said you got these clients coming in to you and like they found you on your website, have you had to reach out to have you had to do any active reach out to get business, or has everybody kind of found you so far in your drone business? I'm curious. Uh-oh. Did I freeze Joel when I appeared?
I think we lost him.
Oh no. I must have jumped in and his thing froze up. Well, We'll pull him back in just a sec.
I do know the answers to that.
Well, why don't you go ahead and fill it?
No, just that I know that one of the biggest things that I know that Joe was talking about was, and I think that everybody in the community was kind of trying to figure out how this happened, but I know that traffic came strictly from his website.
So all of his business has come in just inbound
so far. So he's taken some other jobs for like Bees 360s or Drone Genuity or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this new contract and this new business to where he's being able to continue this on. This is all coming from traffic to his organic traffic to his website.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if he's coming back in. Let's see. Well, in the meantime, maybe let's we'll introduce Garey, and then if Joel wants to chime in a little bit more, if he reappears, we can bring him back on. But I'm gonna bring Garey in, and I'm dropping back out again.
All right, you're good. All right, so now we have on Mr. Garey Scott. Mr. Garey Scott, he is a family member of the community as well. And I can say that he is also kind of the backbone of the community at this point. He's somebody that is tried and true, has a lot of military experience, and kind of puts that same kind of thought process into his business and his approach to things. But, I think he's got a good story to tell as far as his involvement with the Drone Launch Academy. But also just, Garey, I think you can go ahead and share some of your experiences and thoughts on the community as well.
Well, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just to kind of mirror or voice what Joel said, I mean, without repeating everything over and over, the community is just a family. And then let me backtrack a little bit about that. Is like Joel, when I retired from the Army, I didn't know what I was going to do. I took alternate jobs like Dusty. I did insurance, and I thought that was the world. And then I did banking. And some guy walked in with a drone one day, and that's all it took for me. That week I bought a drone. I bought a Rolling Stone drone, a Holy Roller drone, whatever you want to call it. Just toilet bowl on me all the time. And then after that, I bought another drone, and I thought I was going to win the world with drones. I thought once I got my drone, people would be coming begging me for jobs, but it didn't happen that way. So I had to research everything. There's nobody out here. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm out here in Amish country, and we have horse and buggies all over the place. So why would somebody need a drone? But to get back into the story here, drone community to me is a family. And I'm a retired Army guy. I spent 27 years in the Army, and families are everything. We're one team, one fight. I always say that to the guys right there, Dusty, Jeff, Joel, one team, one fight, because we're all fighting the same fight. And the thing about it is before drone launch community, we were flapping out here by ourselves, trying to make things work, trying to grab onto something here and there. But when the community came out, and I found the community through Drone Launch Academy, and I fell in love with the Drone Launch Academy because in the military, there's training is by steps. You crawl, walk, and run. You don't run before you crawl. You don't crawl before you walk. And Drone Launch Academy, I'm putting a plug in. Sorry about that. Drone Launch Academy, that's how they focus on training. It's not like a lot of these other places that have, and I'm not downgrading anybody because they all are great courses. But if you're just starting off and you want something that's going to give you the foundation that you need, listen to what Joel said. Joel went through the Drone Launch 1K course. I did the same thing. We built our websites. We've done everything like that, and it's helped us. It's given us the tools to be successful. And I wouldn't be where I was right now if it wasn't for Drone Launch, if it wasn't for Dusty, because Dusty's not just a community leader to me. He's a friend. And he may be a little younger, not as much gray hair, but and I like his stories when he crashes drones. Not on purpose. That happens sometimes. It happens to me too. I've lost a drone.
It happens too much.
But Drone Launch community is a place that's not like any other place, and it's a place where we can go, and like Joe said, we have the freedom to talk, and we say some pretty dumb stuff about drones, but we're not condemned for what we say. We're saying, okay, what do you mean by that? How can we help you? Or how can we do this? Or, I can call Dusty, I can call Jeff, I can call Joe anytime. I'm just saying those three because we've already said these three, but I can call anybody within the community or put a question on the community, and we're going to get help. So, if you feel like you're out there wanting to get in the drones but nobody's around, hey, we're right here. We're right here, just a phone call away.
Yep.
Sorry, I went
No,
on a little
I think
tangent.
no, you're exactly right. No, and I think that's the one thing about the community that kind of surprised me is, I've seen you actually willing, and maybe you have shipped drones to other guys that needed drones when they needed it for a job or something. You really put yourself kind of out there, and I mean, it's one of those things. It's awesome to say, like, and for some reason, I don't know why I've had some really bad luck crashing stuff, but I know if I am crashing stuff, I needed something, you'd be willing to send me whatever you've got at this point in time. So one of the things, Gary, that I thought was pretty interesting kind of about your story is, you were very big into the aerial photography, very big into the mapping. Uh, and I know that you still do a lot of that, but in the very beginning, that was kind of your main focus. Then Dominic Wilkerson came out with a new real estate course. And so you started transitioning more into the real estate. And so then where I can see that you've really taken dominance now at this point is with the real estate in your area. And that is one of those ways that I think that you've been able to carve out kind of a niche for yourself and make a name for yourself in that area. So do you mind to kind of go ahead and speak to that just a little bit, kind of how that's gone and what you've learned from that?
You know, uh, the SAI right there is Scott Airborne Imageries. That's my drone company. That's my mapping drone company. And like everybody else, I did everything in drones and mapping. I went out and got RTK stuff. I went out and got rovers, base stations, and still nobody showed up. So, when in drones you have to find a niche, and 1K and DLA talks about this is, when you say I'm a drone operator and I do all this right here, well, people aren't going to look at you. They're going to look like you're just too busy. You don't know what you're doing or something like that. So I would do side jobs for a photographer on real estate. And I would do the aerial, and that's all, because that's all I had. I didn't want to. I call them ground cameras, DLSR or full mirrorless camera. I call those ground cameras because I'm always flying. Uh, but I got really interested because the mapping side was there, but it really wasn't paying the bills as much because, again, I'm in a rural area. I'm north of Pittsburgh, in between Erie and Pittsburgh, and it's drones haven't really hit really big right now with the mapping side of the house. And I'll tell you a really quick story, real quick. Uh, I got out of the mapping business because the first time I sat with a farmer to do agriculture work, it was a big contract, and I went in there and told the farmer what he needed before I learned everything I needed to know before I told him. So that's another reason why I had to change my niche, because I had to get educated. And then so I took some courses through DLA, and that real estate course from Dominic. Uh, Dude, Dominic's a beast. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he's a beast. He really got me involved in really honing into a niche, and real estate has become that, so much that I've got a ground camera now. I do everything from photos from inside to 3D tours to aerial, and I'm telling you right now, anybody that says that real estate business won't, real estate photography, real estate won't bring money in, dude, they're wrong. They're wrong. Uh, but what you have to do is you have to commit to a niche. Now, why do I commit to that niche for real estate? It's because that real estate business, my home front photographer business, is funding my mapping business, because drones aren't cheap, so you have to keep investing into that. But the real estate business and uh, is blown out. And how do I get my business? Is I just started marketing on Instagram. I started following everybody. I would do free shoots. In fact, tomorrow I've got a free shoot, and it's 2.5 hours from me. But I did a free shoot. I'm doing a free shoot for them, and I've done so many free shoots that I've gotten so many referrals from those free shoots. Now they're paying customers. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there and offer something for free, because you don't know what's going to come back. So again, real estate business, I love it. I used to hate it. I freaking love it. I love going out there and just making people happy. And it's something about when a real estate agent looks at you and says, man, that's really good. And the client comes up and says, hey, we should have got you the first time. You know, that's
Yeah.
something you look at the end of the day and say, I did that.
No.
Okay, I rambled a little too much.
No, I think you did great, man. And I think that one of the cool things is what Gary and I kind of doing right now is honestly what you kind of experience a lot of times when we get into any sort of the live chats. We have these live meetings each month, but it seems like whether it be a happy hour or it's something that has a specific topic, we always kind of learn something to get off into these tangents. And it's always just a fun way to learn. And but I can tell, like, Gary had gone from being an aerial photographer to now I know that you've got the big running gimbals, and now you're running through the house, and you're probably spending more time doing ground shots with the ground cameras that you were talking about than you were actually having the birds in the air that I know you like to fly. And so, I think being able to kind of have these communications and these conversations with each other it helps a lot of people, especially that are kind of getting started off figuring out which direction they want to go with it. Whether it be the real estate or thermography or mapping or anything like that.
I'm popping in, Gary. I love this story.
Here he is.
Oh, I'm still live.
You're good. Yeah, I know. Last time I happened, it was like, oh, froze instantly. So sorry, Joel. We'll get you back on. But it's so funny. I love hearing your story of doing that because you hear so many people go like, oh, I started out in real estate, didn't want to do that, instantly switched to mapping or inspections or whatever. And you kind of went in reverse. So I think it's just a good testament to whatever you set your mind out to develop a skill in and go after, like you can do it, right? It just depends on what you enjoy and kind of where I'm sure some of it is location dependent, right? If you live 100 miles from the nearest house, maybe real estate isn't going to be your best option. You know what I mean? But you just got to find what's working in your area and what you have an interest in. And I think, but most of all, like the people we see in the community that are successful are the ones that maintain positive can-do attitude and are persistent. It doesn't matter what business you go into, it is not going to work the first time right out of the gate.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
If that was the case, everybody would do it, and it's not like that. You know what I mean? So,
well, I can tell you real quick, like Gary, we all kind of get to live vicariously through Gary and see what he tests out to see how it works out first. And so he's very plugged in with his Chamber of Commerce. He got plugged in and started doing, hey, let me do, some free drone stuff for you guys. And that's kind of how he pays for his membership with the Chamber of Commerce. And so that's how he's meeting some of these people. But he also does a lot of in-person events with real estate firms, where he goes in and puts together a presentation, brings in like some sort of a real estate survival kit or something. But, he's always testing out the waters, and it's cool because we always get to see like, hey, how did that go, Gary? And then he'll come back and say like, well, that one didn't work. Or
did that bomb? Oh, good.
That was horrible. Yeah.
But the most important thing is lock into a community. And education is power, and knowledge is power, and power is knowledge. Don't be like me, waste a year and a half before you got out and learned and found something like Drone Launch Academy and Drone Launch Community. Lock into it now. It took me almost a year and a half to get where I'm just started learning, and then find that niche that you really like David said, because don't be all over because it's not going to work. Just find that niche.
It's just harder. I mean, I always like the analogy of if you found out you had a really deep brain tumor in one specific area of your head, and you had the option between going to a top neurosurgeon in the country who's taken out 50 of those exact tumors in that exact spot, or you go to your family doctor, which one are you going to pick? You know what I mean? Family doctor kind of covers everything. I had heart surgery, and you know what I did 4 months ago? I was like, best surgeon for XYZ. And I went to Cleveland Clinic. You know what I mean? So if you can be known for like, oh no, I do this specific thing and I do it really well, that's what's gonna get you.
Amen. Amen.
Well, Gary, thank you so much for sharing. I want to be able to give everybody a chance to get their time in, and so I want to bring up Kevin, and then I might want to bring back Joel for like a couple minutes since he rudely internet froze on us. But thanks, Gary. I think we can stick around too for. I mean, if you have to go, that's fine, Gary. But if whoever's still around at the end, I'm sure, if we want to do some Q&A, I know people are asking some questions. So whoever's around at the end, we can, bring everybody back up and chat, whoever's still here. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
bringing up Kevin now, and I'm gonna disappear again. Thanks, Gary.
All right, Mr. Kevin
Going
Olson.
on?
How are you, my friend?
I'm not bad, not bad. Enjoying this California weather out here.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's a change for you. I'm sure. I bet your sleep schedule is a little bit off at this
Oh,
point.
it's way off. I was up at like 3 a.m. this morning, and I was like, oh man.
So are you? So tell me, what are you doing in Los Angeles right now?
So like David said, I have a full-time job. So I work for the government. I work in DC. So I'm out here on a work trip, but of course, I brought the drone with me and I got everything with me and got some shots of the pier and the beach last night. And so I try to make my work trips into fun trips as well.
So for everybody here that doesn't know Kevin, he's got a very interesting story. Kevin first really started getting big into drones during the middle of the pandemic, of all things, and I was kind of on the press, on the very front end of that. But you got into it, and just I want you to kind of tell your story on this. But you've done an amazing job in the past 3 years of growing a social media following that. I think there's a lot of people that have been into this for a long time, into drones, that have been trying to get to where you are. So, Kevin, if you don't mind, just kind of introduce yourself and give us just a little bit of background on the story, but also maybe just a few tips and tricks here that have kind of helped you out. But at the same time, how has being part of the community either kind of helped you out or kept you motivated?
Yeah, so for sure, a little bit background about myself. So like you said, I started at the beginning of COVID. I was going stir crazy, sitting in my house all day. I was working from home. I had nothing to do. So I was like, I need a hobby. I need something to do. So I was like, I'm buying a drone. That's like the Air 2 just got released. It was like March, April 2020, like right when everything was starting to close down. So I'm like, all right, I'm buying a drone. Like it was $700. I'm like, all right. So I just bought the drone. I had no idea what I was doing. No idea about photography, videography. I had no idea what shutter speed was or ISO. I had no clue about any of that stuff. I just wanted to fly a drone and get outside. So I was flying around parks and stuff just outside. I live on a golf course. I was flying on the golf course every night, catching some sunsets. And I had no idea about like ND filters. I had no clue about any of that stuff. I had no idea what I was doing. So as I just kept flying them more and more, and I'm like, oh, I want to get better. And like, I just wanted to learn how to do like video and photo editing. I had no idea what Lightroom was. I had no idea. If you look at some of my early photos on Instagram, I keep them up there on purpose, kind of like remind myself like just how awful they were and how far I've come since then. But I first got in the Drone Launch Academy through one of Alex Harris's advertisements about video and photo editing. He did his targeting ads and he got me. So I signed up for the Drone Launch Academy video pro course and the photo pro course. And I'm like, I want to learn how to take good photos. And so that kind of definitely helped me to learn how to edit drone specific video and drone specific videos and photos. And that helped a lot and kind of gotten that way. And just started flying around my area, started doing stuff for free, like I said, at wineries and breweries. And during COVID, I was just trying to help local small businesses. I was just trying to do it for free, just as a hobby. And then people started reaching out to me, hey, can you do this for me? Or can you take a photo of my barn? Or can you take a photo of my brewery? And I didn't have my 107. So I was, the beginning, I'm not going to lie, I kind of did some stuff on the table without my 107. But I'm like, I should probably get my 107. So I took
How dare you?
Yeah, here he comes.
I just had to pop in.
So I did take the Part 107 course of Drone Launch Academy. I'm like, let's make it legit. So I started doing that, and I had no intentions of ever starting a business. I kind of still sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. But it's keeping me so busy. So now I have my own side business on the side. I work, Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday. So, and then weekends and holidays, whenever I have free time, I go do a gig. And now there's getting to a point where I had to start turning down business because I'm just getting too busy. Like I'm backlogged. I'm editing. I still have like so much editing I have to do from shoots I did before my trip, and I was trying to edit on the plane out here. And so I've gotten to the point now where I'm starting to turn down business and filter business, and I've been raising my prices, and it's been kind of crazy. I've been very selective with my time and how much I could actually take on. So it's been nuts.
Yeah. No, so let me ask you a question. So, Kevin, I'm talking to Kevin from say 3.5 years ago. Kevin, you've never owned a drone. Kevin, do you ever see yourself being as a drone pilot on one of these conversations with
no way.
20, 30,000 followers?
No
So, I mean, man, it's just crazy. And it's just, and I think that everybody here understands, like when you kind of get bit by that bug, you get a passion for it. But I think you've done a great job of just kind of really studying this and learning this. And you've inspired me. It seems like every other day I'll check your stories on Instagram and you're getting reposted by wherever you're going at this point. So another question I had for you, I mean, do you see how far away, or do you see this ever kind of get to the point where it's going to replace your current job, or do you feel like, and I don't even know kind of what your lifestyle is at this point, but it's just one of those things that you could make, a substantial living just kind of off of doing what you're currently doing.
I get asked that all the time. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I would want to make it a full-time gig. Like, it's not, I have a good job with the government with great health insurance and benefits and the whole 9 yards, great retirement. So I'm like, I don't know if I really want to give that up quite yet. Like, I'm not making enough to replace it, but it's a good little side hustle. It's a good little, it pays for my hobby. And it's like more than pays for it. The beginning, my first goal when I was doing those free jobs and when I first got my 107, my first goal was to make $700 so I could pay for what it cost me to buy my Air 2 back in the day. I'm like, my first goal was to make $700. Now I do that easily on one job. Like, it's crazy. So,
well, and do you have a drone still for sale, or did you already sell it?
I sold that. I sold that on eBay.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. That was, so you've already updated and everything. It's just kind of crazy. It seems like COVID wasn't that long ago. And if you really look back, it's less than 3 years from when you've kind of started this whole thing. So, man, it's cool to kind of take on a different identity than you ever expected yourself to. And I feel like that's kind of the same way, me being here, being the community manager of this. I never thought when I first bought, I wrecked a dirt bike, kind of had to get rid of it, sold it, and knew that if I didn't use the money for something I wanted really quick, it was going to go towards something that I didn't want it to. So I bought my first drone, and that's, kind of what got me here at this point. So, no, that's awesome.
All right, I'm appearing again. I think that's the coolest way to get into drones. Well, I wrecked a dirt bike and then just had to buy a drone. Mine's like, well, I bought a drone and then immediately crashed into my house and had middle schoolers laughing at me. So that was like my entry. But no, I mean, Kevin, I know your story. If you guys want to hear more about Kevin too, Kevin did do a podcast on. He's one of the Drone to 1K podcast guests. Although that was a little while ago now. So 2.5
years ago we recorded that.
Is it really?
I remember I recorded that before I went on my first trip to Aruba, and it was like during the pandemic. And like, you're going to Aruba in the pandemic? I'm like, but if you look at my Instagram, that was almost 2.5 years ago.
We'll have to do an update. Actually, I just recorded the first episode for season 6 today. One of the guys I've been trying to link up with for a while to record with is here at this conference that I'm at. And I was like, when you got free time? He's like, how about in an hour? So I grabbed my camera, grabbed my mic, and we just found a spot and did it. But we'll have to have you back on for another one. For all of you who are interested, just to let you know, and I saw it was alluded to in the comments, Kevin was kind enough to create a workshop inside of the Drone Launch Connect area where he unleashes all of his tips for how he does his Instagram and how he built his audience there. Why are you laughing, dude?
Because I'm not the person that like to be in front of the camera. So like me trying to record that at home, I think I texted you guys both the outtakes I had, and I was swearing, and I was like, "Mother," I'm not gonna swear, but
it doesn't matter how good it's.
I was like, I can't. Oh man,
it's the quality of the information, Kevin. At this point, I think Kevin is gonna exceed Drone Launch Academy's followers pretty quickly here. I think we have 33,000, and I feel like you're gaining 1,000 a day or something.
Instagram has been kind of messing me up. If you look at my reach, I don't know what's been going on. I get my most recent post 200 views. I'm like, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on with Instagram right now. So I'm kind of like, I don't post as much as I did a year ago. If you noticed, I'm not posting as much. Well, yeah, and if you look at my Instagram, 95% of it is all just stuff I do for fun, like sunrises, sunsets. None of it's any of my paid work that I do. Every once in a while, I'll put some up there for paid work, but usually all my paid work I just send to the clients. And my most recent one's like a sunrise, sunset, a hyperlapse. I'm just doing it for fun. I'm out here in California. I'm not out here getting paid, but I'll post all those because it's for fun. So,
and so Kevin also
it sound easy.
He also is one of these guys that had never really, up till 3 years ago, really never flew a drone, right? And so now you've already flown an Avata FPV through a casino at this point, correct?
I just did one through a hotel. I just delivered to a client. I flew it.
Okay, exactly.
In the bar, up.
Well, you know what? You know what I noticed about Kevin is the man puts in the reps. You know, like if you look at his Instagram, it's almost every day you're flying a drone, like sunsets, sunrises. I mean, you're behind the sticks like every day. So like, of course, if you do something with that kind of consistency, you're going to get good fast. You know, I remember you just said, yeah, I just bought a Nevada. I'm just messing around with it. I suck at it. I'm so bad. Well, I remember you saying that to me like very recently.
Yeah, I'll fly. Like you put my kids to bed at night, and if it's like summertime now, the sun sets at 8 o'clock, 8:30. So I'll put my kids to bed. All right, I'll just fly from my deck. Like they're upstairs sleeping. I might not be able to get anything spectacular, but hey, it's a sunset. And I'll
go check on the kids with the Nevada.
Just picturing Kevin in bed with the goggles on, just tosses it out the window. Anyways, all right. Well, Kevin, thanks for coming on. I'm going to get Joel back on here since he got cut off a little early. But if you have to take off, that's fine. If you can stick around, I'm going to try to bring everyone back on for some Q&A.
Yeah, it's only 5 o'clock, 5:45 here.
But I appreciate your time. I know everybody appreciates you kind of sharing your story on here, and you know, I always love a good excuse to talk to you. So I'm bringing Joel back up. Thanks, Kevin. But stick around if you can. But if you can't, that's fine. All right, Joel.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
We try again. Sorry. It was the moment I put my camera on. You like?
Oh, they missed it. That stinks.
No. Well, I was going to ask you a question, and I was like, "Wow, Joel's being really still. Is he okay?" He's frozen. No. So you were talking about how you got this. You know, you had a few jobs. You did the Drone 1K stuff. You get your website set up. You're having some jobs come in. You had a contract that came in. I was wondering, have you had to do any like outreach or outbound stuff for kind of attracting clients, or has it all been them coming to you, or what does that look like so far for you?
It's kind of been a little bit of both. During the course, you forced us, like one of our first assignments was to do a cold call. And let me tell you, I was pacing back and forth, and I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I signed up for the course. I paid for it. You know what? I'm doing it. So I picked up the phone. I called a local farmer's market. I'm like, hey, you know, I got a drone. I want to fly. Can I come to your house? You know, can I come do it? I will do it for free. I just post it, give you guys the video for the footage. And they're like, yeah, sure. Come on. Anytime you want to come fly. I was like, cool. I'll do all the 4 seasons for you. Kind of just show it off. And I sent them everything. They were super happy. And that kind of got things going. And I'm like, all right, now I need to work on more content, you know, to update my website. So then that led into one thing. And then when I put together my website, it seems like people are finding me. And that's because of the information that, you know, through the course, you know, I put in my picture of me, Moyock, North Carolina, trying to put all these things up to build my site up. So people are coming to me. I got a roofing company came to me, this huge house, a castle. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I wanted to see this house, drive by it every day. And I did the job. I offered, you know, I gave them a price and they loved it, super happy. And then it came back and said, we appreciate the discount. You really should undersold yourself. You should have charged more.
Hey, that's what you want to hear, though, when someone says that. Much better. That's great, man.
Yeah, I was happy about it. And I said, well, I'm going to need a roof in a few years. Can I come to you? Do you do normal people's roofs? So I put it back. They're like, yeah, we'll take care of you. So, you know, it all comes back. Like I know Garey was saying, you know, what you do for free, it's not, I mean, it is free, right? But in the end, it's building that relationship. It's building a connection. It's networking. And that's how we get our names out there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's free, but it's not.
That's awesome. Well, I just wanted to, I wanted to ask you that question, and then I think you got scared or something and kind of took off. And
so sorry.
But no, hey, you know what? I think, again, anybody can get access to information, but it's on like you, right? You could have chose not to call anyone. You could have chose not to actually create your website. You could have, you know, been like, I'll do that later, or like, I don't want to do this, you know. That's why we put that in the first week is like, hey, you're not even selling anything. Just call someone you don't know and introduce yourself just to get those like jitters out, you know, because it can be uncomfortable. But if you can just get used to talking to strangers in any business, it's going to help you. I can't tell you, even like I found a new strategy. Well, I'll feel you. I don't know. Maybe we talked about this a little while ago. I don't remember what I was on when I talked about it, but it's the inline strategy. Like at a conference, in line to get lunch, in line for coffee, whatever. You got a captive audience. They're not going anywhere. They're waiting to get food. You just go, oh, hey, what's up? I'm David. And they're like, oh, I'm, you know, Tim. And then you just chat them up. I've met like a ton of people that way. I've met some guy who was the head of a drone program at an electric utility. I met guys who were, one guy who's like the head business rep for Autel, and just like good people to know in the industry, you know, and they'll chat with you. So I'm not saying that you need to like annoy people at Starbucks, but just getting comfortable talking to people you don't know and being friendly, it just goes so much further than you would think it would. So anyways, all that said, I'm proud of your action taking.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I try to just put that to kind of forward. I just did it this past weekend. I was working a sand soccer event, and they had hired a company to do drones and photographer. So I'm like, I'm not going to talk to that guy. I'm not going to talk to that guy. But you know what? He can't go nowhere. I'm going to go up there. I'm in uniform. So I go up there. I start talking to him. I'm like, hey, you know, what are you flying? Start talking, make small talk. And then in the end, I'm like, here's my business card. And this is me. And he looks at it. He's like, oh, cool. You fly? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, you're in North Carolina. He's like, I'll just send you the business there. I don't like to drive down there. I'll send it to you. Do you mind? I'm like, no, I don't mind. Appreciate it. Thank you. You know, so it's just making those connections. I was never going in, not expecting anything. Just talk to a guy that flies in the area. Yeah. So you never know where you're going to meet somebody.
That's so true. So true. Just got to, you know, showing up and talking to someone is half of it, and just being friendly. So it's awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Joel. So here's what we're going to do now. Dude. I'm going to bump you down. If you have to take off, that's totally cool. But if you want to stick around, you know, we'll bring you guys back up for some Q&A. So I believe we have a couple quick announcements to make, and then a drone giveaway. And what is the last thing we have to do is, we'll do some Q&A. So the first thing I wanted to do, I know a lot of you, you know, we're in here, we're bringing people in from the community. We've been talking about the community. You know, all these very subtle plugs. Really, we just wanted to give you their stories because these are just three great guys. Just wanted to give you an example of like who is in there. So we are, for the first time, kind of like reopening the community and re-promoting it. We just got a nice little sales page done with Dusty, with a nice, you know, produced video that he's so proud of. I think it's gonna be great. So we're finishing up kind of that landing sales page tonight. But we're going to do like a promo. So what we were going to do for the promo was, for the first 50 people, we were going to do, hey, you get your first 2 months in there just for $1 each month. That's it, like $1 each month. And if you get in there and you feel like you wasted $1, I will give you a refund, not a problem. If you want to keep going after that, it's like $29 a month. And I'm going to tell you stuff that's in there, stuff that we got going. So we just added a bunch of workshops and mini courses, and we're about to add a ton more. I've been sending emails, hopefully not annoying you, asking you, hey, what workshops do you want us to add to the community, right? So we have this community where we have mini courses and workshops. And let me see if I can share my screen here. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this, right? All right, so here are the current workshops and mini courses that are inside of Drone Launch Connect community. So we have some of these used to be in we had this like really big, we had Drone to 1K, and then we changed it to Drone Business Mastery. We had a bunch of stuff, but I realized it was too all over the place for new drone business owners, so we condensed it back to Drone to 1K, reduced the price a little bit to make it just for beginners. But we took some of the other stuff that was really like industry specific, a little bit more advanced. We just had it unpublished, and it wasn't for sale. It was kind of like hidden. And so we're like, why don't we put that as a part of the community and put those in as mini courses and workshops? So we've added those in there just recently. So we have landing construction clients as a workshop. So Root Patel, he teaches our mapping course. He used to work exclusively with construction clients. There's a whole mini course on that. I've been teaching a Part 107 airspace and sectional chart workshop. It's 45 minutes just on airspace, sectional charts. If you're studying for the Part 107 exam, it will help you out tremendously. If you just want a refresher, it's also very helpful. Then we've got mini courses on how to use like the Mavic Mini, the Mini 2, literally every feature that's on those drones, some practice flights. It just helps you get more familiar with DJI stuff. If you are super new, Drones 101 literally teaches you how drones fly, how the motors work, what the industries are, all that fun stuff. We have a course on how to get real airspace authorization. Dominic Wilkerson and Jeremiah Oshwald each have courses in there on how they get real estate clients. So Jeremiah does it through going and doing presentations, and we have a whole like sample presentation of what he does. Dominic does it through Instagram. Getting clients for thermal inspections, that's taught by Jeff Carrillo. He's got a full business where all he does is thermography and thermal inspections. Your man Kevin teaches organic Instagram growth for drone business. We've had another guy who's been on the podcast. He teaches intro to drones and agriculture. Somebody else taught establishing your digital drone or your digital presence. Was it Garey that taught the nonverbal communication course? Yeah. And so Garey on here, he did a workshop on nonverbal communication in your drone business, which I would have never thought as a thing, but apparently it's actually really helpful. Okay. And I took all of your feedback. We had like 500 people, 500 of you leave votes. And here were the top 10 new workshops that you guys voted on that we are now going to create for 2023. All right, here they are. The number one by a long shot was how to price your drone services. So what we're going to do is we're going to have all these workshops, and we are going to go locate the best instructors we can find for these. We might bring in multiple people. So for instance, how to price your drone services. We might bring in different people from multiple industries on how they price different things. All right. We're going to do how to take progression shots. So if you're doing construction sites, how to take the exact shots every time, how to utilize AI in your drone business so you can make things a lot easier, a lot faster. How to master the top 5 cinematic drone moves, search and rescue, how to find people. Surprised that one was so high. I really liked it. Maximizing smart flight modes on DJI drones, color grading your drone footage, how to get FAA waivers to fly in controlled airspace and other complicated airspace. So this goes beyond just like your Lance authorization stuff. This is like how to go fly next to an airport. So Dusty's got a good friend who does this all the time, flies in really big airspace and airports, and he's going to show us how to do that. What to look for during cell tower inspections. I've got a really good contact who's one of the top people. He's on all these committees for telecommunications and drones. I haven't told him he's teaching that yet. I'm going to try to rope him in, but he'll do it for me. And then what to look for when inspecting transmission lines, power lines, and the power distribution system. And I'm pretty sure I got a guy for that too. I have a couple people in mind for that. So these are the top 10. So these are the ones we're gonna create all these in 2023 into the Drone Launch Connect membership. So I wanted to just give you that piece of information so you know what's coming. I'm very excited about it. Also, as a part of Drone Launch Connect is we have drone discounts. So you can get discounts on DJI drones, accessories. Dusty's out there constantly negotiating with vendors to get discounts. We've got discounts for SD cards. I don't know, Dusty, what's some of the other stuff that we get discounts for that you've negotiated?
So we've got discounts now with a Loft Enterprise, if anybody qualifies for the Enterprise program, but we've got Tiffin filters. We've got Scotty makes stuff, which is the really cool, the cinematic Cine sticks that you see that people are using for the controllers for the DJI remotes. We've got discounts on SD cards. So, I think I'm paying now, like whether at the local or Walmart, it's $16, $17, $18 for a 64 gig SD card. Now you can get them 5 to 10% off. And we've got some other good stuff going. I'm trying to remember all the different things we've got.
Loom Cube. I think Loom Cube.
Loom Cube, Hoodman.
Yeah. So anyways, all we do is we go out to vendors. We say, hey, we've got a community of drone pilots. And they're like, oh, you want to be an affiliate? And we're like, how about we just pass all that affiliate discount on to our members? And they're like, okay, sounds good. So we do that. We've got an exclusive, some drone dealer relationships where we're not allowed to publicly post prices, but we can. The way we've gotten around it is by you tell us what drones you want. We go then get like a custom quote, and then we can just pass it on to you, and then you pay us an invoice, and then we ship you the drone, kind of passing you our discount. I've checked the rules. It's okay to do. We just can't advertise the exact price publicly. So this is kind of how we give you our discount without getting in trouble. And that's not just DJI drones, Autel, Skydio, all those drones. So here's what I'm going to do. We can talk more about the community. I'm going to post a link, or you can go to Drone Launch. Actually, I can't remember the Connect. I'm going to post a link in here. So if you want to do Drone Launch Connect and you want to try it out for $1, I'm going to post a link and I'm going to put the code up. The code is going to give it to you for $1 for 2 months. Normally said we were going to limit it to 50. I couldn't figure out how to get it to cut off. So I'm just going to leave it on for this whole call. And then we're doing 50 at $1. We're doing 50 at $3 for a month for the first 2 months, 50 at $5, 50 at $7. And then that's it, because we want 200 new members at a discount. And then after that, it'll just be the normal kind of $29 a month for everybody else. So if you want to get in have 60 days to try it out for like super, super cheap, this is your chance. So here is the link for Drone Launch Connect. I don't know if you can see it, but basically if you go to, oh boy, I don't know if that's a clickable link. We'll see, hopefully. And I'm going to put a banner up here. All right. So it's DLC1, very complicated. DLC and the number 1. That's all you got to do. Let me see if I can get you guys. I think that should be good because we're finishing up sales. I'm launching it to you guys before it's actually officially like public and open to everyone. So it works. Okay, cool. It's clickable. Sweet. All right. So you can get in. We just want you to get in there, introduce yourself to the community, go take some workshops. Oh, I didn't even talk about the bi-weekly expert Q&A. So every 2 weeks, we bring in drone expert, whoever you guys want. If you guys don't say anybody, Dusty goes out and finds someone who's doing cool stuff in the drone industry and brings them in for a Q&A. Dusty, why don't you talk a little bit about that real quick?
Yeah, no. So every other week, bring somebody in, like David said, just whether it's something that's related to the drone industry or it's actually related to maybe to the business side of things too. So we've brought in guys from like Von Tolbert, who has an insurance agency that is focused on nothing but UAV insurance. And we've had guys on that are focused on like we've had Paul Nurkala, who was the 2018 DRL World FPV World Racing Champion. We've had Ken Herron on. We've had guys that are focused on thermal certifications. So we always want to make sure that whoever we're bringing on are people that you're going to be able to relate to. But one of the cool things too is like Tom Wazinski, we've got him coming back as a repeat guest next month. He is a guy that basically had filed for bankruptcy and sold everything that he had just on a whim to just start his drone business. And now he's got a thriving business in Cleveland, Ohio. I think he's the Bengals drone pilot, does a lot of stuff for ESPN and everything. And so he's just, so he gets to be able to come on. And the coolest part about these are Zoom meetings. So you can come on. I basically set up the kind of tee up the interview and just let them introduce themselves. And then you guys get to come on and ask all the questions, and drive the conversation at that point. So I feel like that's kind of one of the coolest things about this. And I think one of the biggest things we get feedback on is really being able to connect with some of these people and to hear how some of these people are doing some of these things. So whether it be some big industry or somebody like the CEO of Aloft or somebody we've had people on from the FAA, all the Q&As always tend for some reason go a little bit longer than normal, because I think that we kind of started really digging in and getting into some really good topics and discussion. And it's always kind of fun to kind of see where things go at that point.
Yeah, our goal with the expert Q&A was to, hey, can we bring people into the community that these folks might otherwise not have access to? Like if you were to go and just like cold message someone, like what are the chances of them like having a conversation with you? Some people, maybe they would, but we just have a lot more kind of leverage to say, hey, we've got a community of drone pilots. We have, that have some specific questions, or we'd love to hear from you. We can kind of get them to come on. Even if we need to like pay someone to come on, we've talked about like, if you guys want to do an attorney, and let's say we can't find one who just wants to come talk, we could pay an hour of an attorney's time, right, to bring them on to like talk to all of you. So we just have more leverage that way to be able to do that. So those are the main things. Are with the workshops, just the community, just like knowing each other. We have location groups, we have industry groups. So if you do a video and you're like, I don't know if this sucks really bad, let me post this to the group. My personal favorite channel is the fails channel. Like everybody, when they crashed their drone or somebody was flying the wrong job site and someone came out and started punching them, that's like my favorite story ever. Is Robert Nix flew the wrong job site, and the people are telling him to leave, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to fly this site, and this woman started like hitting him. Anyways, so there's just like funny stories in there of people doing all the precarious situations people get themselves into. So there's that, the biweekly Q&A, the workshops, the discounts. Hopefully you'll make a whole lot more and get a lot more value out of the community than you put in. Oh, and by the way, we're going to make all those workshops I listed. So the the 10 or 12 ones that are in there now, plus the 10 new ones. We're going to have all those available for like sale to anyone who wants to buy one. So they're going to be between $50 and $100 per mini course / workshop. But that's one of the benefits is if you join the community, you get access to all of them for free. So if there's someone else and they don't want to join the community for some reason, they could buy one for $50, $100, whatever. But if you just are in the community, you get access to all of them and all the new ones we add for free. So, all right. So that's that. I'll leave the code up on there in case you guys can do it. It says 50 available, but again, I can't do any cutoff limit, I realize. So I'll just leave it up here the whole time. If we go over 50, that's fine. And then I'll just turn it off afterwards. But hey, I just see people joining. Awesome. Thanks. Make sure you introduce yourself in there. Don't hide because it won't do you any good.
Let me real quick just say that make sure to introduce yourself. Post a video if you can. That's highly encouraged. But when you're going through and completing your bio, make sure that you include as much information about yourself, what brought you here, what you're interested in. Because when you go into the membership directory, you can search for other members. And so like you're going to search for a keyword or tag like mapping or real estate, then if that's in your bio, that's automatically going to connect you to other people that are looking for those key terms as well. So complete the bio as much as you possibly can. That's going to help introduce you to other pilots.
Yep. Sweet. Well, we'll do, one more announcement I wanted to make, and then we'll do the drone giveaway. I know people are dying for the drone giveaway. So here's the deal. You have to be live on the call to win the drone, and you had to have voted on the workshops. So I have the list of workshops up here, like all the scores you guys gave. So I have everybody in there. So I know who's in. So I can start calling out names until one of you responds. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll call out a name. I'll give you time to respond. If nobody responds, I'll keep talking about my announcement that I'm very excited about. So the first name, I'm literally just going to scroll randomly, pick one from this list. Right here is Elizabeth Toedt, Toedt. Elizabeth Toedt. If you are on the call, write in and let me know. All right. So while that's up, hey, you know what, Kevin? I'm sorry, you're not going to get a drone. You just go work, Kevin.
Kevin, you can get off now.
All right. So the one thing that we've always been asked for that I've always said, oh wait, is she on here? Oh, Elizabeth, you're here. That has never happened before where the first person I pick is actually on the call. Hold on. I'm putting it. Elizabeth, me, I'm here. Congratulations, Elizabeth. You just won a DJI Mini 3 Pro. Please email me, david@dronelaunchacademy.com, and I will get you that. Congrats. Wow. That really screwed up my plans. I thought I was going to have to call out like 6 names before I got someone that was live on the call. All right. Email me. All right. But this is the number one thing people have asked me for that I've always said no to because it just seemed like too much work. I didn't want to do it. It just seemed like I'm like, logistics, blah, too much. Everybody's like, David, when are you going to do like an in-person thing, some type of like in-person event? And I was like, that sounds like a lot of work. I'd rather just make a course and put it up, and then it's always up, and then I'm done. And then we just get to do webinars like this and have fun, But I really enjoy meeting you. What we did was we had a dinner in Denver. When I went to Denver a few weeks ago, me and Dusty went together. We said, hey, anybody who's in Denver, if you want to come have dinner, we'll pay for the dinner. We'll put it on. You just show up. And with a couple of days, boom, we had 8 seats filled up. We did this dinner. It was awesome. I loved it. I didn't know anybody in the room other than Dusty. We had a ton of fun, got to know each other. I was like, all right, we're doing this. We need to do it. So we're going to do an event. It's called Drone Launch Live 2023. And I just want you to write the dates down. It is going to be the end of September. Right now, the date we have and the place I looked is open. It's going to be in Florida. It's going to be in Lakeland, Florida. It is going to be June, July, August, September 23rd. So like that 22nd through the 24th, September 22nd through September 24th is when we're doing it. Mostly on the 23rd, we're going to have speakers. We're going to have workshops. I think the room only holds about 200 people, so it's going to be limited to 200 people. Here's the good thing. If you are a Drone Launch Connect member, you can come for free if you're in the Drone Launch Connect. Now, here's the caveat, though. We don't want someone joining the month before and then getting to come to the whole workshop. So either you had to have been a founding member Basically, you had to have, or we'll do this. This is what I was going to do. You had to have been a Drone Launch Connect member for at least 12 months. If you've been a Connect member for 12 months, paying member, then you can come for free. Otherwise, if you want to come, you got to buy an annual membership, which you get 2 months for free anyways. But if you buy an annual Drone Launch Connect membership, you can come even if you buy that right before then. There will also be a ticket option if you want to if you're very against memberships and you're like, I am not doing that, there'll be just a regular ticket option. I'm going to make it more expensive to where it wouldn't make sense to buy it and you should just join Drone Launch Connect, but it'll be there if you want it. But if you've been in Drone Launch Connect for 12 months on the monthly, or if you buy the annual membership, you can come for free. So that's another perk of being the Drone Launch Connect group. And we're going to pay for the venue. We're not going to have all the meals, but we'll have, snacks and coffee and that kind of stuff. But it's going to be a chance for all of us to get together. Just whoever can come, network, hang out. We'll have some speakers lined up, some workshops lined up. We'll try to get some people from the Drone Launch Connect community to kind of get up there and speak about what they're doing, maybe teach a little bit, kind of some stuff like we have in the workshop, a little bit like this maybe, but in person. So I'm really pumped about it. I hope a lot of people can come. You were the first ones to know about it. So we're working on a little website to get more info out and get the speakers lined up and all that official stuff. But I just wanted you to do a little save the date, September 22nd through the 24th. So I'm very excited about it. Yep. I've already told Kevin that he's coming, and he's like, as long as it's not this other date, I don't know. He's shaking his head. Can you still come, Kevin? You can't come that weekend? Well, Kevin's out.
We're going to fly that weekend too. So
what's that?
We're going to do some sort of fly day.
Yeah. So we're going to do some flying and we're going to do some other fun stuff. So, all right. So that was my announcement there. We did the drone giveaway. We did the drone launch live announcement, and we gave the codes out for Drone Launch Connect. So now I'm going to bring everybody back up, and we'll just do Q&A. And it's $1 to join. Somebody asked in the question, just $1. Use DLC1. There you go. All right. Gary's in. Kevin's in. Joel's in. We're all here.
I'm changing my plans right now. I got my calendar up.
What do you mean you're changing your plans? What were you doing?
I have something like going on that weekend already, but I'm changing them right now.
Oh my gosh, look at
this.
You
want to see his mom.
He texted me. It was like a different weekend or something. I don't know.
Just put mine on. We're good.
Did I tell you a different weekend beforehand?
I think it was originally the 29th, but
yeah.
We'll wait, hold on. Okay, I changed it because that's my son's birthday. I said to my wife, Katie, I said, hey, I'm gonna do the event on September 30th. And she's like, does that ring any bells for you? I'm like, what? I think we're free, right? And then she's like, that's your son's second birthday, my youngest son. So I had to change it. I'm sorry, Kevin.
I'll work on it.
Well,
everyone's sleeping back on the East Coast, though.
All right, sorry. It's going to be in Lakeland, Florida. It's going to be at our so we have a co-working space that we work out of, and they have a giant room there that holds like 250 people. And it also has got giant screens. It's in a cool spot. It's right next to a cool hotel that we can get a block of rooms at. We got restaurants around there. So that's where it's going to be. It's like suburbs of Tampa, about 40 minutes from the Tampa airport, where you can fly into Orlando, about an hour from the Orlando airport. So we'll get all that info out to you guys. But just get us all in one room for a day, get us all out flying together, and bring in some cool people. I'm trying to convince. I'd love to have all the Drone Launch Academy instructors there. So I'm working on them one by one. I mean, they're all over the place, Seattle, and so we'll see who we can get there. But I'm looking forward to whoever can come, even if it's just like 10 of us. I'll still be there because it'll be. I think it's gonna be a good time. So, all right, Q&A time. What do we got here? I think we had a bunch of. Someone asked Garey if you had a business plan going into what you were doing. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
The business plan I had? Well,
they asked if you had a business plan.
Before I got into real estate, before I got into the drone launch academy course, no, I didn't.
Okay.
Working with Dominic helped me design that business plan right there to be successful.
Cool. Well, and I can say Garey is as far as a lot of the members, he's very on the forefront of the AI stuff as well. So he does have a business plan together, and he's but he's also running a lot of stuff through AI, and he's always kind of running it back through the community. Whether it just be ways to, emails that you can shoot out to other people or to real estate people. I mean, so you put some of that together, but I know you've leveraged AI a lot as well.
Yeah, and also I have ventured out to have a VA, my virtual assistant.
Nice.
My virtual assistant does all of my marketing for me, my contact from my Instagram. So all I do is make contact with the agents, then I go out and shoot. They do all the work. They all do all the legwork for me, So I found out that I'm only going to be successful as how many shoots I can do and edit, and I can't edit all of those. So I also outsource my editing for my real estate as well. So I can actually multitask and have what they call multiple people working on there, so I can do more at one day. Instead of doing 2 shoots a day, I can do 4 to 6 shoots a day, and still have everything out in 12 hours. That's to include videos, photos, everything.
Love it. Kevin, or not Kevin, sorry, Garey. Where did you find your VAs?
I got into a real estate side of the house as well. You can do Fiverr, but you have to, if you want to, you can contact me, because it's a process. Because most time you're working with a third party outside of the United States or whatever. You have some in the States, you have some outside the States. So you have to find that VA that's going to meet your needs. And then it's kind of like having a private, because I'm a retired Army guy. You've got to train that VA to do exactly what you need a VA to do. So, hey, my phone number, Dusty knows, and Joel, and everybody knows, my phone's always on. I'm always open. In fact, I just had a guy that saw our presentation here. He just hit me up on Instagram. So I just found out he's got family up around Erie and Ohio area. So now we can possibly meet. He does real estate as well. So, hey, just now we made a connect.
Sweet. Yeah, I think that's the key. When I saw the hesitation, because I've been, when you're doing Upwork or something, sometimes you can get people who, unless you're extremely specific about it, what exactly you want, you have some quality control stuff. But one of the nice things is if you join the community, guess who's in the community? Garey. And guess who you can talk to more about VAs? Garey.
Yep.
I've used Upwork. I've used Fiverr. I've posted jobs on Indeed. I've posted jobs on LinkedIn. There's another one. If you're looking for sometimes there are really good VAs in the Philippines for certain skills I've found. And so I think we paid for 1 month access to onlinejobs.ph. And there's a ton of video editors on there. I mean, they're not going to be making Hollywood movies for you or anything, but if you just need some basic stuff done, very affordable rates. So, you can look around, but we just got, so for some of our really basic editing stuff where it's not very complicated, nothing really fancy. Found video editors on there for anywhere from $5 to $10 an hour. And they do pretty decent work. And then if you have a job where it needs to be a lot more, there's cuts every 2 seconds or something like that with tons of effects and all that, you might need to find maybe someone that's US based or higher rate. But yeah, the resources like that are super helpful. All right. Anybody else got questions for our panel here? I know I didn't recruit you guys to do a Q&A at the end. Sorry, I kind of sprung this on you, but Kevin, what's your website when someone wants to know?
MarylandDroneGuide.com. And they were saying, I think it was Garey that said it, or Joel, one of them, but having a website is is key. Cause even I get some business from Instagram, but you know how many times I get organic Google searches, hey, someone's I ask every customer, how'd you find me? They're I Google searched it. And I just happen to come up and have great SEO, and I get, a contact form right on my website, and people just reach out, hey, I got this. And definitely have a website that looks professional. And yeah.
Yep. Another
definitely
thing,
a .com too. There's a lot of people I have a .net or what. I think having a .com, a professional looking website goes a long way.
Yeah. And I think along with the website thing, even if you have Like even if you just do a one-page website or whatever, put up something so you can start building some SEO. And then the very next thing you should do, I'm giving you some free advice here. This is what we teach in our Drone 1K course. Go to Google Business, like Google or business.google.com, or it's google.com/business, one of those. And that's when you can put in your location and all that stuff, and people can leave reviews, because Google is always going to prioritize their like Google Maps listings first above any organic search results, above anything else. And then if you get reviews, you get prioritized above other people. So if someone searches Tampa drones, if you're in the Tampa area and you have a drone service business or mapping or real estate or whatever, you're going to come up high, and they're going to see your reviews. It's going to be right there. They can click on that, and that's going to take them to your website or information about you. Google's always going to prioritize that above other type of rankings. So it's like, it's so easy to set up if you put minimal effort into just putting it up there. Ask your mom to leave a review, do some free work, ask them to leave some reviews, just so you can get that going. Another reason to join the Drone Launch Connect community, say, hey guys, I just got my Google listing. Please go in there and leave some reviews for me. I mean, be honest, say like, hey, I've seen their work and I know that it's good. Like don't make up lies, but I don't think there's anything against helping each other out. So
my website's blowing up right now. Every time someone goes on website, I get a ping from Wix, like in the IP address, and everyone on here is like,
awesome.
That's cool.
Blow up Kevin's website. Shut it down. Everybody go to Maryland Drone Guy.
Seattle,
Right
Orlando.
Denial of service attack. Whatever.
So I just put on my website too. It's crazy. I never even thought of this, but there's been people been asking me for like hoodies and hats, and like I wear my polo shirt when I go out to jobs. Like, can I buy that T-shirt? And I'm like, no, not really. But so I just had the merch store on my website, and I'm like, I never thought in a million years anyone would want my logo on a T-shirt, but I'm like, whatever, people want it. So people are like, oh, can I buy that hoodie? Can I buy that? I'm like, all right, like whatever.
I just want to let the record show that Kevin has Drone Launch Academy shirts. I don't have any Maryland Drone Guy shirts.
I'll send you one.
Same here.
I just want to put that out.
Go on my website. I have a merch store now.
Any other
water bottles and hats and hoodies and stickers.
What do you use? What do you use for that?
The ones you use.
Printful,
yeah.
There's another piece of game for you guys. Printful.com, real easy to get swag for your stuff, and you don't have to like order, 20 screen printed shirts. You can just do one at a time. If you want to get your logo printed on a pair of boxer shorts and get one shipped to your house, you can do that. I mean, you can have all sorts of crazy weird stuff on there.
They're really messing with me. People are messaging me on my website now. And nice. Wix is
blowing real up. Quick. I just want to real quick just while we've got these three guys especially on here, and just thinking about I was just kind of sitting here thinking about this for myself, but we all kind of know where we're at now, but where would you be just thinking about had this community not been around since last August? Say that you were by yourself and we were not here and never had a chance to meet. I mean, where do you think, would you be at the same spot, or what would it kind of look like at that point?
Who's going first?
Whoever.
Garey, you're first.
No, I wouldn't be where I was right now. Where I am right now. I wouldn't even be close to where I am right now. I'd probably have put my drone up and just been a hobbyist. Because the community is, even when because everybody gets down, we pick each other up. And these guys here on the screen right here motivate me, and no, I wouldn't be where I was right now. I am right now if it wasn't be for the community or Drone Launch. And again, I love it because Drone Launch Academy they're that foundation that springboards you forward.
Let me tear up over here, What about you, Joel? You're next.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be here because it was just, seeing a couple guys with drones and like how do you put it together to make money, right? And to be able to reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. I mean, I've called Dusty, I've called Garey, Jeff. Kevin's kind of been my like, ooh, I need to get where he's at.
I don't know about that,
but
I think if you buy some of his swag and wear it,
I need one of those hats.
Someone
I just hit him on his website, and but he was, I was like, I need to add it like that. So how do I do it? Well, listen to him on the community. He's like, I took this class. I'm like, cool. I'm taking that class, so I'm gonna learn. We all kind of just build each other up, like Garey said. I mean, it really is. place where we can just all just keep motivating each other. And that's what we do. It's a good group of people to build each other up to make it better. I know there's no way I would have been in where I'm at today without it.
Another plug for the community. I forgot to mention, you get, what is it, 30% off all Drone Launch Academy courses if you're in the community?
I think it's 20% off just ongoing, but we do have a monthly contest. Okay, we'll make it 30. Yeah. Then we'll have to up the contest the percentage a little bit then.
Oh, why? What does the contest do?
The contest was 30, so yeah, we'll bump the monthly contest.
Nah, let's just make it 30 across the board, because that way, if you're in the community, you know what I mean, like, and you want to, so the difference between the workshops and the courses are usually like, I don't know, 4 hours plus of video content meant to take like 1 to 2 months to kind of get through all the way. They're supposed to be like a lot meatier, like really A to Z on a specific thing, right? Like, so for real estate, it's like how to do drones, floor plans, floor cameras, editing photos, editing videos, getting, like everything, right? For the mini workshops and the courses we put inside Drone Launch Connect, you're supposed to be like 30 minutes to an hour of like really honing in on a specific kind of skill set or topic. So, again, so like it's a lot of like, oh, let me go in and spend 45 minutes learning this skill, right? So, but if people want to go and they want to join in one of like the programs, the long programs, we want to make that a benefit to the community, So let's do the 30%. Sweet. All right. But yeah, no, thanks for the kind words, Joel. And I got to say too, Dusty, when I picked a community manager, I interviewed a bunch of people or several people. And my main criteria was like, does this person like drones? Would I want to be on a call with them for an extended period of time? You know what I mean? And Dusty was just like such a good guy, super nice, really into drones. And I was just like, I think this dude's going to take really good care of drone launch customers and be a good leader for the community. And I think he's done an awesome job with that. So just kudos to you too, Dusty. The community would not be here at all if you hadn't have said yes to my proposal. So I'm glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
And then Kevin, you're the last one, man.
What was the question again?
Is how much do you love Dusty?
Take your time.
Where would you be if you were 3 years ago, if Drone Launch Academy / Connect didn't exist? How many years ago?
I'm just saying the community. It's last August. So
last August.
Say that the community never existed, Kevin.
I'm trying to take some credit too, but I'll just leave it at. We'll just leave it at next.
It's definitely helped out a lot, like as far as just meeting people and connecting, and like we were talking about before, like local scams going on, or just useful hints and tips and stuff, like just being able to hang out and like you have your happy hours, and it could be a random night at 5 o'clock and we're just hanging out talking, having a drink together, talking about drones and stuff, or rumors about the new Mavic 3 Pro or whatever the case is, and just hanging out and talking. So it's been awesome just to connect with different people and get ideas and throw different ideas at each other. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
can I say one thing?
Go ahead. Sure, Gary.
The community is the community. It's established for us as drone pilots. But what it is not a magic genie. What I mean by that is you get what you put in, you get out of what you put into it. You can come in here and listen and maybe learn some stuff. But we're here to help learn from each other. So what you put into it is what you get out of it. So if you're going to go for $1, use and abuse it. Find out everything you can. What's the worst thing's going to happen? You spend 2 months, you learn something. For $1.
Yeah.
You make friends forever.
That's right.
And there's even broken down by like area too. So you just meet other people in your area and all right, cool, you live in the area, and go meet and hang out.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do the in-person stuff, because so many people, it's all virtual, which is, fine, but it's just nothing like being face to face with people and sitting down and being able to hang out and eat together and stuff. So I wanted to bring that in. So, well, I'll let you guys wrap it up. So just let you guys know, this Drone Launch Connect thing, if we haven't hit 50 yet, I'll just leave it open. If we have hit 50, I'll shut it down and I'll post the next one, or an email will go out with the next one. It's just DLC 3. And that's like, you pay $3 for the first 2 months, big difference. But anyways, I really appreciate you all. coming, and you've been a big help, in the community, and great example for everyone. So I appreciate it. Thank you everyone to coming on the live. This will be posted on YouTube since it's a YouTube live instead of Webinar Jam. I guess this probably works out better. But keep a lookout for an email for the other updates on Drone Launch Live 2023. And we're going to send some more stuff about the community this week. So appreciate everyone. I'll see you later.
Sold a print while we're sitting here, so someone bought a photo.
Thanks, guys.
As we're sitting here.
Kevin's like, could I get on a couple more?
Yeah.
Drone Launch live?
Kevin, you're done, buddy.
Hey, I need to get that hooked up.
Yeah.
There's
All right,
another thing I need to learn from him.
See you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.
So, yeah.